Hello YouTube, The Majestic here, bringing you some more D&D. Now, most of the time we live stream these on the Twitch, The Majestic Twitch, which is www.twitch.tv/TheMajesticGamin, G-A-M-I-N-O-G. But today we're doing something a little bit different. I am joined with Rebecca. Say hello, Rebecca.
Hello.
And who are you playing today?
I am playing Nathara Sepret.
Yes. Now, Nathara, at the end of one of the episodes a few weeks back, Nathara had decided to split up with the group, not only going somewhere else to maybe inspect some other locations, which if she finds them, then that would be beneficial because the rest of the group might not find a way out, but she's trying to find a way out as well, so they not only can search in multiple locations, but also they're followed. Their escape from the drow is still being pursued, and splitting up into two groups would really help that. So they decide to end up splitting up, where Nathara went to, and correct me if I'm wrong, you went to the North Passage, headed to Blingdenstone, correct?
Yes, with
Jimjar.
With Jimjar,
Ront, and Eldeth Feldrun.
Yep. And did Leslie go with me, or I was confused by that.
Leslie technically did go with you.
Technically.
So, yeah. That might be another NPC I need to do. Okay.
Two bards. There can only be one.
There can only... This is gonna turn bloody so fast. I
just topped off my wine, so I don't know how this is gonna go.
So she's gonna get vicious. We hope. So they ended up splitting up, and we have followed the other group, of course, joined by Delilah, Jax, Zash, and Mira, along with a number of other characters, but that has progressed over multiple weeks, whereas today we're going to sort of do a little catch-up and see exactly where the two groups end up meeting once again, and then Nathara will be back into the main group. I would like to point out, though, we will probably wait to upload this until after we know for certain that she is back with the group, as well as, who knows, there might be some secret objects that she ends up getting in today's session, or some secret things that she ends up learning, which this episode, or she might die. And then it will only be uploaded once all spoilers are out of the way, and, you know, they find the corpse. Or anything else. So this is gonna be a very, very fun episode. Now, starting off at the very beginning, you went running into this passage feeling you didn't necessarily build up a strong connection with all these other players, considering that most of them you'd only met for a few hours, but seeing the group break up into two, you do feel like a little bit is missing as you go running into these darkened alleys, these winding corridors. If you didn't have Jimjar to help you, it would just be a terrible, terrible, constant feeling of hopelessness and loss. Luckily, though, Jimjar, feeling rather confident, continues to take your hand and pull you, a very reluctant Ront, and a very similar Leslie, and a very quiet Eldeth Feldrun. He'll continue to pull you, some of you by the hand, or push some of you from behind, like trying to edge you forward and hurry you up as you guys go running around. And what I really want to focus on is, what are you focused on as you're running through the caverns on the way that Jimjar's trying to lead you? Would you like to focus more on finding things to help you survive, or are you really focused on trying to outrun the drow that might be pursuing you?
probably say outrun the drow, just because Nathara knows that whatever she really needs, she can find whenever she needs it.
Okay. Feeling pretty confident about her scavenging skills, Nathara's gonna focus on that and answer me this, Batman.
Riddle
what?
Me this.
Riddle me this, Batman. What? How many days rations do you have?
Can't remember. Have we used? No, we didn't because we were in a prison.
Yeah.
Let me look real quick. I have 5 days worth of rations.
5 days worth of rations. Leslie has 10. So for the 5 of you total, there are 3 days worth of rations.
All
right. So also answer me this. Outrunning the drow. You can choose to move at a fast pace. I would like to point out, though, moving at a faster pace makes it harder to spot ambushes or items of interest and prevents characters from foraging, while at a slow pace allows the characters to travel stealthily enough to surprise or sneak past creatures they encounter, and improves the chances of success on foraging for food and water. So moving at a fast pace, if you come up to something ahead of you, it will be more difficult to see. But you will much more easily outrun the drow.
I'd say a slower pace. I have human eyes. I can't really.
Okay, for now.
Much enemy, anyways.
So you'd like to move at a slow pace, which would advance the drow, or you can just move at normal pace, I should say.
Normal pace.
Normal pace. All right. You're gonna continue along the normal pace, and as you do so, you get talking with Jimjar a bit, who, at one point he very reluctantly he just continues to push along Ront and things like that, but then at one point he just looks at you and goes, "So I owe you $10, huh? 10 gold?
Could you repeat the question?"
So I owe you 10
she's
gold?
A little I don't know how to answer this because he doesn't owe me anything. She's gonna look at him.
I'm gonna be a bit more serious.
Inquisitively, basically, like, are you pulling my leg? Are you serious right now?
Yeah, Jimjar always pays his debts.
No, my friend. I do believe I actually owe you money.
Oh, right. Yeah. I hope that you take on the same principle that Jimjar likes to take on. If you catch my drift.
Ignorance is bliss. I do not understand.
Uh-huh. As he continues to walk forward. Continuing to try and widen that gap, he's gonna often say things like, "I bet you we won't see anything for another mile at least," and things of the sort. Throughout various possible acceptances, mostly denials, but when you think it's a sure thing, you go ahead and accept it, and it does get to the point where Jimjar actually does owe you 10 gold. and in a much more pouty fashion, he continues to lead the group. Sort of with his shoulders and head shrugged down. He now owes 20 gold to members of the group and is on a bit of a losing streak, unfortunately, which he does not like. He does not have the gold on him right now, though, so he does not pay you at the moment. But while you guys do travel, it is going to be. Do me a favor. Go ahead and mark down Blingdenstone, which you do have. Sorry, I mean, go ahead and mark down 30 days.
30 days
Yeah.
to get to the city?
Yep.
Estimated.
Estimated. Which the other group is about 10 days in right now.
Yeah, I missed a couple weeks.
It's very interesting. You come up to this area though, which just feels strong. You feel stronger in it, and the area itself is illuminated more than other areas. Now, real quick, you do have dark vision, right?
No, I'm a useless human.
All right, so you guys had to use a torch as you guys went through too, but you get the feeling that if you were to put out this torchlight right now, you'd still be able to see things around you. The area itself glows with sort of a green luminescence, sort of like out of game, sort of like something radioactive, like glow, like you see in many movies that don't know how radiation works. And it's just a very again, you can just feel the hairs on your arms and neck stand on end. It's a strong surge that goes throughout you.
Kind of like a little wave of electricity.
Sort of. Yeah, so you sort of get the feeling like a powerful static is in the air. My question for you is, Nathara, would you like to advance? Most of the other characters seem to continue walking into the area.
I think I want to, before I go forward, I want to look around a little bit. Like, scan across the room or the area.
Okay.
See if I see anything of danger or of value.
All right. Do me a favor. Roll a perception check. Or no, roll a straight up intelligence check.
Intelligence +1, 17.
17. You have heard about some areas like this being possible. It's where magical energy sort of meets with the ley lines, and you being in the Underdark, it seems very possible that this is more powerful and a much closer to the ley line than the surface area's equivalent would be. But you know that this is a Faezrus. Faezress. A Faezrus. There are some advantages and disadvantages. You know that teleport spells in the area can be sort of wonky, but it is just very, very powerfully magic enhanced areas that, for the most part, should be pretty safe.
Then I go forward with the rest of the group.
All right. you guys continue on the search, but it being a bit more glowy, you don't need to worry too much about anything that happens there. After a long day of trekking, you guys take a rest and rest throughout the evening. Um, do us a favor, go ahead and make a Constitution saving roll. Or real quick, before you add anything to the die, let's make that. What would be best for this?
Before I add anything, I just want to let you know it's a nat 20.
Oh! Alright. We would say wisdom is what it is.
Wisdom,
So,
it doesn't have any modifier.
No
Zero
modifier.
modifier.
Nat 20.
Yep, so nat 20.
Nat 20 and total of 20. You fall asleep and you have the most relaxing sleep that you've ever had. You wake up feeling well rested. In fact, you are well rested for the day, and you have the energy to continue moving without using up any of the food or rations for the day either. You just continue to march, and yeah, very, very nice. As you guys continue on, real quick, so that I don't push past anything, is there anything that you would like to ask any of the non-player characters? Or anything like that? Is there any non-player character that you'd like to talk to more, or get any more of their past from them, or?
Well, I guess maybe ask them why they were in prison. Because I definitely know why I was in prison.
for being a surface-dwelling scum.
That, and I was soliciting without a license.
That's not something the drow would get you for as much as.
But I mean, being a surface-dwelling scum as well.
Yeah, the drow just like they're slave takers. They're slave masters. They'll just pick up any slaves that they happen to see and take them. All right. Let me just see something real quick here. See, it's just stuck. All right. Okay. I just had to double check that. And you had asked about that. Unpredictably, the first one to speak up is actually Ront, who begins to tell you about how he wouldn't say unfortunately, how Ront, in a moment of weakness, decided to flee from the slaughter of many, many of Ront's orcs by the hands of dwarves. And as he fled, Ront fell down a shaft and wandered through the Underdark for a bit before being picked up by the drow. And Ront couldn't even win that battle, he says very disappointingly, holding his head down. And you see now that Ront whenever he lashes out, which is often, and you'll notice traveling along with him that it's mostly about stupid things that he's lashing out about, but he'll lash out like why did you give Eldeth her ration before you gave it to Ront, or just random things like this, and he'll just get really mad, but it fades as quickly as it simmers, and he you start to get the impression as he continues on with the story that the reason more so why Ront lashes out might be because lately he has had quite a bit of a deal of bad luck. It is considered more honorable to stay and fight and die in the battle for orcs, and he fled from it like a coward, and then he lost the battle against Drow. He got upstaged by a winged humanoid multiple times who looked frail but happened to have a mace, and he's just he's in a very difficult spot right now. Eldeth Feldrun begins to tell you how she was just wandering one day, and wait, let me make sure I have this, but I have to find first her. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it doesn't say much about her.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna go with what I was saying, was that she is a obviously dwarf, which you can tell. In fact, I don't know why I haven't done this sooner. Although we didn't pick out your character.
We didn't.
No. So
Oops.
probably not that. Um. Eldeth Feldrun begins to tell us about how she, as a dwarf, was a scout for her people and her militia in Gentilgrum, and she was always very good at keeping quiet and staying low. But unfortunately, one of the days, while having to scout out a drow outpost, she was found and taken prisoner by the drow, and she often, speaking as the dungeon master, she'll often refer to her dislike for most underground creatures, most acclimated races of underground creatures, I should say. So, like creatures who have been accustomed, like the drow, to live in the underground for quite some time. But let's see. There's this one, which, I mean, that's sort of good for a bard, but might not be great. It's entirely up to you. Let's unlock it and scale it up.
Woo.
Woo or boo?
Oh, it got really big on the screen. I'm like, whoa.
Gotcha. Here, I'm gonna pull up some others, which I do not like that one, I don't think. Yeah, no. It's a female fighter, though. Lumberjack, warrior, shaman, wizard. Okay. So let's start with this then, shall we? Do any of these NPCs catch your eye?
Um, mm, I guess maybe the one in the darker blue dress on the right.
This one?
No, the two behind it. Yeah, that could work for right. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
We will
that could
set
work
that
for
one
right
off
now.
aside. Let's go ahead and continue. Looking still.
Looking for stuff.
Looking for stuff. Okay, yeah, those are all male NPCs. It's the very same thing. Fisherman, Davy Jones Locker.
I saw Jack Sparrow.
Yep. And there's a pretty good. Let's see, is it this one? Gosh, I cannot see the face. That might be sort of a Goodwill Turner.
Yeah.
There's sort of another Goodwill Turner, but I can't see the faces very well. I don't know why it won't let me angle down anymore. Anyway. Alright. So for right now... Okay.
So tiny.
Yep. Let's change that, actually. There we go. And then we are also... And Leslie, I have no clue what Leslie would look like. But for right now... That's gonna be Leslie. Okay. So there we have it.
Yay.
A traveling party. Oh boy, where was I? Yeah, Eldeth told you that about herself, and then Jimjar. Do me a favor. Jimjar begins to tell you about how, he was hanging out in Blingden Stone, just doing his usual, gambling, betting on some things here and there, and he just got picked up by some drow. And I want you...
Literally.
Yeah, quite literally. Put Jimjar down! But they didn't. And he seems like he might be withholding some stuff, though.
Should I push a little further?
You may as well.
Yeah. Would that be persuasion? Try and persuade him to open up.
Perception more so, to see if you can
Perception.
tell.
12.
12? It just, yeah, he seems like there's something he's not really saying, but you're not really sure of what.
Then I guess I'll just let it go for now.
You'll just like, oh, alright, you guys continue on.
If I don't know what it is, I won't confront him about it.
Yeah. You guys continue on though along the many, many caverns, which again look just alike. If it weren't, you know, if Jimjar didn't feel so confident about how or which way he was supposed to go, you might feel a good bit lost and a little bit worried, but it continues to head you along paths that continue to move forward, I guess. Do me a favor, go ahead and roll a survival check.
3.
3.
Yee.
It sort of does seem like many of the tunnels that it takes you down, though, lead back into tunnels that you've already seen. And you're starting to get the impression that you're walking in big circles.
Hey, Jimjar.
Yeah?
Are we lost?
No. Jimjar knows exactly where he's going. Just trust Jimjar and follow him. That's all that you guys need to do. That and, of course, fight whenever there's a problem. And, I'll help, I guess, but mainly I'm gonna stick to the lead.
Can I check to see how confident he is in the fact that we're not lost?
Yeah, you most certainly can.
Would that be another would that be insight or perception?
That would be perception.
Okay. 10.
Okay. He seems very confident.
Well, all right then. I guess I'll keep following you.
Good. It's not like you have much of another choice anyway. Ront couldn't find his way along his own garm, and Eldeth wouldn't have the courage to say anything if she did know the way.
Nathara looks over at Eldeth and gives her a very kind look.
Eldeth just smiles for a minute, and then reluctantly puts her head back down and watches her own feet as they continue to walk.
Nathara is going to say this in Dwarvish. Don't pay too much mind to him. He seems to be a little full of himself, sweetie.
Aren't the men always? She says back in Dwarvish.
I chuckle a little bit.
Alright. You guys continue on for another day with very little. I would like to say, as you continue on for the day, it is also possible to have someone, since you're not really scourging for food or looking for that, it is possible then to have someone pay direct attention to covering up your trail. Would you like to do that?
I guess so. Who would be the best qualified to do that, considering the fact that some of us can't see the trail that we're making?
Since Jimjar is leading, I will say not him. It is a survival check, so it's going to be wisdom. Ront has +0, and Eldeth, though, might. Yeah, +1.
What
What does Nathara have?
Nathara doesn't have any advantage in wisdom. It's 0.
No advantage in wisdom?
What about? No.
Okay.
It's just average.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna have Eldeth then. As you look back at her, she was that day covering up the trail behind you guys as you continued along the path. And in fact, I was looking for, some uh, terrain tiles and stuff like that for in tunnels, but this is actually pretty good for it because it's like a dirty kind of a dirt and earthy. I just mixed the two words together without even knowing it. My gosh, what's wrong with me? She focuses then for the day on covering up your guys' trails, and successfully you guys find a place to make camp for the night, and you all begin to lay your heads. I want you to go ahead and make a dexterity check.
Oh boy.
Or a dexterity saving throw.
So it's just the d20 plus the modifier?
Yeah.
8.
Hey, cool.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah, it wasn't difficult. It was very easy because there's a reason for this, which you'll see very soon. While you guys set up your camp and set up a little fire and put out all your bedrolls and lay down your heads for a nice, relaxing evening, you hear like a little bit of big stones grinding off in the distance, and then they sound a bit closer. It's like a big rumbling noise that's slowly appearing and disappearing until all of a sudden this big sinkhole begins to form right where you guys are, as the rocks from beneath you seem to have disappeared. For some reason, there's just a big missing support area from where you guys are as this sinkhole opens up. Luckily, almost everybody manages to get out of the way of this sinkhole that forms. All but one person. Leslie.
Oh.
Leslie gets sucked down into the sinkhole that magically just the rocks and sands from the area that you are just cascade down this now perfectly cylindrical pit. As you guys look down and see Leslie on the ground, lying there. What must be 100 feet down. Oh my god. What? Hello? Hello? He yells up. He can faintly see you. Is that you guys? What happened?
You fell!
Thank you. Yep, oh god, he starts to look around and, I think there's something down here. I'm gonna be quiet. And you very, very faintly hear him, like, say something like, just the words, quiet, something here, and run now.
Run now?
Yeah. As you see Leslie start to sort of back up slowly at the very bottom of this perfectly cylindrical tunnel, and back up toward another opening to a tunnel, which now you can see there's a perfect parallel T-intersection beneath him, and from the way that he's looking, he starts to sort of slowly walk backwards and turn around and run completely, as all of a sudden you see this big, giant, purple cylinder with all you see are just teeth at the very front of it, and then just purple cylinder moving very, very quickly, moving throughout this tunnel like a perfectly shaped pipe cleaner moving through a pipe. It just starts to move right through, and he went running pretty quickly.
So what would be the best way to avoid that? She turns to Jimjar.
Is he okay? Says Eldeth. I'm taking bets on his survival rate, and it's not looking good. He says. Ront's just like, I could stand to make a few gold. he and Jimjar start to talk to each other about prices and stuff like that, and the odds, which he is 10-1 against.
Oh gosh.
All right. So, I'm guessing you guys, Eldeth, a little bit of worry throughout her eyes. Make camp for the night once more.
Around the hole.
And around the hole. Yeah, just. You guys set up camp once more, and
would Leslie still be there if he's in the hole?
Leslie is running from the purple worm monster.
Then why is Leslie in the circle?
You're not wrong. So he'll just be there, and right now. Oh, he fell, so we're gonna do this. Ah! And he went running that way. Oh no, he fell. That's not good for Leslie. Okay. All right. Will the circle be unbroken? You guys managed to get some sleep. Do us a favor. Go ahead and make another wisdom saving roll.
13.
13. Very, very nice. All right. You again have rather pleasant dreams. Throughout the day, you travel along. Go ahead and make a nature check for me.
6.
Okay. You find no good sources of food as you continue on, but you just continue on and continue on your days of rations, which today is the last day plus 1 rations that you have left.
So, I needed it for the first day. The second day, I didn't, because I got a 20.
You didn't, but everyone else did.
Yeah.
You're
Well,
still
Leslie's
feeding.
gone, so...
Leslie is gone. And luckily, everyone gave their rations to Eldeth to hold on to. I feel like. Let me just double check and make sure they did. Let's see what the fate of the golds, as to whether or not.
So I'd probably be at 3 rations now, if it's just me. From 5 to 3.
Yeah, if it were just you.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. Anything less than a 5, he did not. But luckily, that was an 8.
Awesome.
Let's see. So, for the first day and the second day, that was 9 people who have been fed out of the 15 days of rations. So for this day, you guys continue on for the third day, and you guys have 12 days rations used up, and you have 3 days rations left.
And 28 more days to get to the town.
Which means, yeah, 1 day for 3 of you.
So we're going to have to start looking for food soon.
Yeah. You can try and make that was just a nature check to see if anything passive perception-wise you saw anything, you could try and scavenge a bit more.
Yeah, I think I don't want to play it too close for comfort, so I think I'm gonna see if I can scavenge something up.
All right, go ahead and make a perception check.
10.
10. Okay, you do see a couple of weird blobs like in the water, and make a nature check for that.
Nature would be 18.
Very nice. Yeah, you have not necessarily seen these, but you have heard of these before. They're water orbs, which not only, if I'm not mistaken, have obvious water rations for each of you, but I believe food rations as well. And let me just make sure that the water orb is a bulbous fungus that grows in shallow water. The mature water orb can be squeezed like a sponge using and a pound of edible, if chewy, and somewhat tasteless food. So you find a number of these. You find 8 of these, which each one gives you a pound of edible, if not chewy, food, which we'll say is a day's ration. No, sorry, not a day's ration. A meal's ration.
Okay. So 8. 1 meal.
Well, no, a day, because a pound of food, like, I don't know.
A pound's not that much, but I mean,
Yeah.
it's whatever you want it to be.
We'll say half day's food. Go right in the middle. Alright, so you continue on and you got 4 more rations then? 4 more days rations, added to the 7, total 7 I mean. As you guys continue on, you have another day of adventuring, another day of rest. I rolled quite a few days in advance as well to see what happens, and surprisingly, your journey has been very, very boring so far. So, do me a favor, go ahead and mark off then that is 3 days travel.
So day
rest.
25. Yeah.
Go ahead and make another wisdom saving throw for me.
8.
Okay. You have a normal sleep. You wake up dreamless. Dreamless and seamless. Alright. You continue on for yet another day. Go ahead and make a... Are you going to be scavenging more throughout this day?
Well, I mean, since yesterday was so successful, I think I'll test my luck again.
Okay.
So yeah, I think I'll do some more scavenging.
You're going to scavenge today. Good to know. I'm going to have you make 3 perception checks then throughout the day. So go ahead and roll 3 perception checks for me.
In a row?
Yeah, might as well.
7, 5, and 16.
Okay. The 7 and the 5. Oh. That's a different thing. Okay. Do me a favor. When you foraged yesterday, go ahead and make it 16 pounds instead of 8.
So I have 8 now.
You're a medium-sized creature, correct?
I assume so.
Okay. So for each day that you spend foraging, you get 16 pounds of food. So add another 16 pounds then. And then we'll just say that you found a few water orbs on top of that. That's good to know.
16 food. So I have 16 pounds of food, and then I have
3 water orbs.
3 water orbs.
16 times 2. So that's 16 days rations then get added total from the 2 days of foraging.
Eight. So much stuff. So yeah, 16. No.
Do me a favor. On your 16 roll for perception check, you find a very interesting fungus though. It looks like a human tongue, sort of.
Ew.
Yeah, sticking up out of the ground. Go ahead and roll a nature check for me.
4.
4. You think that this looks very edible. Yeah, you think that this might be a very nutritious and edible thing. Now, let's go ahead and roll a d4. No, d6. Let's roll a d6.
6.
On a 1 to 3, what is the roll?
1.
1. You're very hungry right now, and you think it looks delicious.
Oh no.
As you begin to chew and ingest this tongue-shaped thing, it has a weird texture, too. It sort of has the texture of a tongue as well. Just growing up out of the ground. Yeah, it's disgusting. You start to learn very soon that this is not a normal edible fungus, but I want you to go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw.
12. Plus 1. So that's 13.
Hey! Alright. You succeed and hold back the pulse as you're like, this one time you hold back the impulse to just blurt out compulsively your secrets for the next hour.
It's a good thing I don't have that many secrets.
Alright. You, wow. That was close. Alright. It tasted disgusting. It had no benefit. You're really regretting that decision. But
I'm
you're not
still
bleeding out your
hungry.
secrets. Yep. You scavenge through. You take one of the actual meals ready to eat that you guys already had the rations prepared and use one of those instead of the stuff that you foraged because you're getting a little bit tired of that a little bit. But you guys once again make camp. Once again sleep. Once again roll a wisdom saving throw.
10.
10. Very good. Alright. It is now the next day, and I think that this is the last day that I've rolled for.
That would make this how many days away from?
Day 5. This is day 5.
5.
So 25 days out.
25 days out. Okay.
You guys continue walking. Jimjar continues leading, feeling very confident that he is on the warpath for.
Do I recognize any of the? Do I recognize any of the area, or if there are any remarkable holes that we might have passed by?
I'm not gonna make a joke there. Do us a favor. Go ahead and make a perception check or intelligence. This would be intelligence.
Oh, it's crooked. Don't do that.
That
one.
sounded wonderful. A 1?
Nat 1.
Nat 1. Yeah, actually, I'm not gonna. Yeah, I'm just gonna say, you are really thinking that you're going in a big circle. In fact, you come across a hole that looks very similar to the one that many days ago now, Leslie has fallen into, and you are starting to not trust Jimjar about his path.
I'm gonna speak in Dwarvish to Eldeth and just ask, have we passed this before? I have a feeling we've passed this before.
I think so, she says. We most certainly have. I think we're lost. And it's only gonna be a matter of minutes until the drow find us if we are. Oh no. She starts to get all worried. Starts to panic and sweat. Good bit.
I pat her on the shoulder and say, it'll be all right. Just calm down. We need to talk to Jimjar and make sure that we're going the right way. Pat, pat.
Pat, pat.
Pat, pat.
If you say so. I'll keep watch behind us, just to make sure, though, that nobody's gonna sneak up.
Okay. Jimjar.
Yeah?
I hate to sound like I'm beating a dead horse, but are we lost?
What does beating a dead horse sound like?
Not very pleasant.
Oh. I see the analogy. No. No, we are most certainly not lost. Jimjar knows exactly where he's going. Jimjar has scavenged through these tunnels many, many times. Jimjar has seen some maps of these tunnels as well.
Jimjar?
Yeah.
Would you put money on that?
Jimjar would bet his life savings on that.
Oh, good. I thought you were about to say your life.
You still don't know if you can trust him. I want you to make a perception check to see if he's telling the truth.
18.
18?
Yep.
He seems very confident.
Confidence can only get you so far, though.
We got nothing to worry about, Toots. As he continues.
I turn back to...
Eldeth?
Yeah, I was blanking for a second there. I turn back to Eldeth and I say, in Dwarvish, keep an eye out, okay?
Of course. She says, still looking behind the group, spanning sort of the area that they came from.
And Nathara is going to turn to Ront and ask, would you mind standing close to our Dwarvish friend? She seems a little bit nervous, and I'm sure someone of your stature would be willing to calm her nerves. Seeing as you're all strong and such.
You know it. Let's see. All right.
Drawing a line in the sand.
Yep. Do not cross this line. I'm just gonna be doing something here. Give me a minute. Yeah, you guys have another successful day of travels. Another successful night. And,
Ate some rations.
ate some rations. Yep. all that good stuff too.
Oh, should I be subtracting for everyone else?
Yeah, that's
rations?
what the days of it was. Yeah.
Yeah. So I had.
So it's 5 days. Let's see. You had 15 plus 16 plus what was it? Another 3. Um,
I
that
don't know if I
is
had that much. I had
plus
16
1.
plus 1.
So 15 plus 16 plus 1. 1.5. So that is 32. It's been 5 days amongst the 5 of you for 1 and 4 of you for 4. That is 21, and you have 32, so you have 11 days rations left.
Okay.
And yeah, go ahead and if you could keep track of everyone then.
I can try. So we only have 11 left, and it's the 24th day. Okay. So I have 11. And there's 4 of us. One of us is gonna have to go hungry. we only have 2 days rations left. 3 days rations if one of us doesn't eat. Yay.
That is a yay.
I'd go look for more rations if you weren't drawing your elaborate map.
It certainly is. Oh shoot. Yeah, it's the next day. You most certainly can. You can scavenge. You get another 16 pounds, which is another 8 days rations. 8-day rations for one person, I should say. Yeah,
So that brings me up to 19?
Yep.
Okay.
There.
-4 brings me back down to 15.
Okay. And do me a favor, roll a perception check as well.
Okay. 19.
All right. Very nice. Okay. Just one last second, I believe. There we go. Ah, crap! I thought I was on the regular thing. Okay. Sorry about that. Luckily, since it's not live streaming, I can do, delete some of this out. Which is always good.
Gotta fix those happy accidents.
Yep. Certainly. Okay.
I'm officially out of wine.
Oh, no. Another glass. Another
No,
glass.
I finished the bottle.
Oh! Another bottle. Another bottle.
No, I'm saving my money so I can only afford one.
Gotcha. I gotcha.
And I'm trying to lose weight, so I'm cutting out alcohol and soda.
I really should do exactly that. I should certainly cut out alcohol and stuff, but um,
There's two conventions coming up. One next weekend, not this weekend, but next weekend, and then the last weekend of the month that my sister and I are going to. So I kind of
awesome.
want to not. I'm a little chubby right now, so I gotta fix that.
Come on. I First off, look who you're talking to. Second off, I highly doubt that.
No, I used to dance ballet, and then senior year, so one of my main things, it's not much about like physical appearance for me with weight. It's about the fact that I know when I gain weight, my muscles get soft, and that gives me bad knee pain. So it's I know firsthand it's better for me to be more healthy than it is for me to be more drinking soda whenever I want.
I gotcha.
And there's pie in the fridge too, so that's not helping.
That sounds amazing right now.
It's key lime. It's so good.
Ooh. Yeah, as with your 19 roll, you find a very interesting small mushroom. Now I want you to go ahead and make an intelligence check as well.
17.
17. You've heard of this. It's called Nilog's Nose. This small mushroom grants any creature advantage on wisdom checks based on smell for 1d4 hours. However, the creature suffers disadvantage on saving throws against effects based on smell for the same amount of time. You also find where was it? Yeah. You find a very, very large mushroom as well, quite a bit down the way, but as you keep on searching through these mushrooms, there's this like 4 or 5 foot tall, broad gray capped mushroom. And you know that this is Trillimac. Not only can its leathery head to the mushroom be used to make and cleaned to make things like maps and hats and scrolls, sort of like leather or parchment in some cases. But the stalk can also be cleaned, soaked in water for an hour, then dried to make a edible food very close to bread. And go ahead and roll a d6.
Got a 4.
You clean it like you should, and you get 8 pounds of food. 8 pounds of bread out of that.
So much. So that's 8 more rations?
4 more days rations.
Okay.
Yeah. A pound equals half a day's ration.
And I'm going to go ahead and distribute out all the rations, but in the one that I give Jimjar, I'm going to put that tiny mushroom in it.
Okay. Alright. Do you tell him what it does?
No, I just tell him that it's healthy for him.
Okay. Very nice. We'll see how that goes. But
and do I keep the mushroom cap? Or did I just get the stock?
It's up to you. The mushroom cap again can be used to make like leathery kind of objects
I think I'll hold on to that.
Okay. Yeah, we don't really do carrying weight here. We just don't.
Yeah.
So, yeah, exactly. As you guys continue on down the passage, though, after finding some more days' rations, things like that, you guys come across, what's this? An opening on your left. What? Never expected that, did ya? Ha! Surprises, Rebecca. Alright.
After walking in a straight line for so long.
Yeah. With sometimes curvy wines, you guys, yeah, you see this big opening here off to your left. Would you like to enter the Cave of Mysteries?
I turned to Jimjar. What do you think, leader?
Huh. I have never seen this before.
I thought you knew exactly where we were.
Jimjar does know that, but sometimes in this place there are things that even Jimjar can't explain. It's like the wall here just opened up.
Shall we go inside?
I don't see why not. You guys walk in?
Yes. Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Rachel just came in here. She was crying. Apparently she's watching Magnificent Seven.
Oh.
And she just saw the opening scene.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh my goodness. As you guys walk in, all of a sudden this big a boulder falls on the ground behind you, and then a second big boulder. Tiny bits of rock start to tumble as you look up and see this big opening where just these giant rocks start flying through, and I want you to go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw.
16 plus 4, so 20.
Good. Eldeth. Ooh. And Ront. Yeah. Ooh. So, as you and Jimjar were the first two to go through, and Eldeth and Ront were taking a look behind, making sure that the close was clear, they couldn't jump out of the way in time, and unfortunately both get pinned down by a good bit of the debris, taking 5 points of bludgeoning damage each.
No!
Alright, next... Sorry. You guys look. Slowly the debris starts to fade. The dust begins to settle. And the area that you came in from is completely closed in.
Uh-oh.
More importantly, this dust, as it slowly settles, you notice that there was always a very common, slightly but noticeably present blowing of continual air throughout the tunnels. The air in here feels very still.
So we gotta hurry.
I would recommend as much.
If the dust is settled, I'm gonna check and see if our pinned down compatriots are okay.
Oh, you look at Eldeth, and one of the rocks had smashed into her leg and has her leg pinned down between between the rock above it and two separate rocks below on the sides, It's just locked into place very roughly, with a sort of point on the top boulder really poking into her skin, and she's bleeding out a bit there.
Let me see something real quick.
Okay.
I don't know if this would help. But I have cure wounds as a spell, and then I also have, as a level 2 bard, I have Song of Rest.
Okay.
With Song of Rest, I can use soothing music or oration to help revitalize wounded allies during a short rest. Or if I want to use my spell slot, I could try Cure Wound.
It's up to you.
I don't know which one would be more effective though. Cure Wound. Increase by Cure Wound. A creature you touch regains a number of hit points equal to 1d8 plus your spellcasting ability modifier. Who looks like they're in the worst shape? Ront or...
Well, when you look over at Ront, he's not really crying out in pain because he's sort of just face down on the ground. You're not sure why. You could take a closer look.
I'll get a little closer look.
As you come closer, you see this one blood-stained rock off to the right of him, and a rather large wound on the top back of his head as he slowly begins to come to and wake up and push himself up. He as he stands upward, you see on the back of his head just driplets of blood that had pooled there begin to just quickly cascade down his neck and back.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do Song of Rest. And I think since there's limited air, the best thing for us to do is just take a short rest, so that I'm gonna recommend this to the group, so that they will have a chance to heal a little bit more, as well as it'll conserve air, so that we'll be able to better navigate our way through if we're not trying to struggle to breathe.
Very, very.
Considering 2 of us are injured.
Yep. Do me a favor. How much? Actually, how much do you heal on a short rest?
For Song of Rest?
For any short rest.
I am not sure.
Actually, I don't think you heal any on a short rest. So the Song of Rest, how much does Ront heal?
Song of Rest. Friend creatures here who can hear your performance regain hit points at the end of the short rest by spending 1 or more hit dice. Each of those creatures regains an extra 1d6 hit points.
Okay. Each of them too. So there are multiple then.
Yeah. So it reaches out to any of the friendly creatures who hear my performance, or like my wounded allies who hear my performance with the short rest. Roll a d6.
So, yeah, they all hear it. First up is Eldeth, who gets 5, and then Ront. It's 3. Fair.
Okay. So that's a little bit better.
And you watch their wounds begin to close up, but I'm guessing you also, before that, you tried to free Eldeth from her pinned leg condition?
Yeah. Should I roll?
Go ahead and strength check with advantage because Jimjar is going to help you.
Okay. I got a 2.
With advantage?
I don't have an advantage in strength.
No, Jimjar's helping you, so you roll twice.
Twice.
Yeah.
19.
19. Far better. Yeah, you successfully, both you and Jimjar are able to hoist up that boulder and slowly just topple it over, and it rolls down the other rocks there that had cascaded, but out of the way of Eldeth, who's able to now stand up limp and holding her leg that was pinned straight out as it begins to or continues to bleed. She sits up against the cavern wall next to Ront while you sing, and Jimjar just admires silently, listening to it, very adored by it. Alright. You guys then, after a short rest, 30-minute rest, I'm going to make note of that you guys have been in here for 30 minutes so far. Which way would you like to go? As you reach this, you can see that it sort of appears as though off to the right there's the end of a cavern.
Mm-hmm.
And off to the left it sort of opens up into more of a stoneworked room.
I'm gonna lean towards Jimjar, and does that mushroom take effect yet?
Has he eaten it is a good question.
I mean, I gave him a ration.
You did. He has not needed to eat it, though.
Darn.
You can tell him that might benefit him on smell checks.
But would he smell this thing? Would he?
I don't know.
Hold on. I'm going to recommend to Jimjar about tell him all the properties of the mushroom and say that would be beneficial. But I'm going to say that I feel that we might want to go to the left. Just to keep moving since we don't have a lot of time to look around.
So you tell Jimjar about the mushroom, though?
Yeah.
First?
Yeah. I tell him about that, but I also tell him that maybe we should think about the left just to try and find an exit.
Yeah. The left does seem to be more developed, but were you ever planning on telling me about this mushroom? This magic mushroom you gave me?
Well, I wasn't betting on it.
Huh. Very funny. As he continues to walk down.
She laughs at her own joke.
Yup. Ront and Eldeth following behind you guys. Alright. You guys walk into this big, again, stonework sort of, castle, finished stone walls, 10 feet high, and sort of glistening off of your torchlight. You hear the constant dripping noise of water going down, but you also see then some sort of bulbous shape of liquid start to seep through one of the stones and drip down much heavier, much more dense than the water that's glistening the walls. As it settles on the ground, it starts to form back up into sort of an ooze kind of monster. I want everyone to make initiative.
Oh no.
Eldeth is 1. Ront is 19. And Jimjar is 5.
Nathara is 10.
And okay. Ront is up first. Seeing this, still a little bit delirious out of exactly what's happened to him, though. What the? Ront sees this weird creature start to form up, and doing what Ront does best, he's just gonna try and take out his great axe and try and slash it into pieces. So he runs up, takes out this hulking, double-edged sort of battle axe kind of thing with very, very large handle. He swings it down to make a slash that is going to be, oh boy, well, might be good. That does hit. And it hits for normal damage as well. So he gets a D12. Check this. Hey, natural 12 on a D12. 15 slashing damage. As he brings it up into the air, you just see bits and droplets of this ooze kind of liquid that's formed up into sort of a muck kind of creature. You see it as it just gets perfectly sliced in two, and these bits and droplets just go spewing out in opposite directions, dealing it 15 damage. Holy smokes. Next up is the ooze monster, though. The ooze monster. This ooze monster, though, it's going to move backwards up against the wall and go back inside the stone and rocks that it came out of. And just disappears.
Huh.
Huh, indeed. Next up is you, Nathara.
How far away is the exit?
The exit?
Like how
that
far
you guys
away?
came in from?
No, to get further down.
Oh, that's 10 feet at most.
10 feet?
Yeah.
I'm gonna use my
10
action to just sprint over there.
Alright. You sprint running over in that direction, and as you do, you come up to this sort of weird green cube blob. Sort of similar to what you saw, but this is green and just, yeah, emphasis on the weird. As you look at it, two eyes open up and stare at you.
Can I take a step back?
You can. You take a step back. It doesn't swing or anything like that. It doesn't lunge forward.
I think I'm gonna have my turn there. I'm not gonna attack it if I don't know if it's gonna hurt me or not.
That's fair. Yeah. Next up is Jimjar. As he comes up behind you, he goes, I don't know where that one thing went, but I think it's gone. As he turns around and sees that glowy, not glowy, but sort of green, gelatinous cube, and goes, What the heck is that thing?
I don't know.
Hello? Earth the cube. As he goes up and starts to poke the gelatinous cube, very near the eye. The gelatinous cube just closes the one eye and sort of irritated, just like sort of scrunches the other, looks at him and opens up the other, blinks a couple of times to get its bearings with its eyelids, and just stands there staring at you guys. Do you say anything to it?
No. I mean, part of me wants to tell Jimjar to stop, but another part of me kind of wants to see what happens.
What's your thought process in this then? Like,
My
what are you
thought
saying to yourself?
It looks harmless.
What are you telling? What is Nathara telling herself?
I mean, it looks harmless enough, and we didn't see the other one attack. So she's probably thinking, like, are these things really that dangerous? Because it looks like boogers. And that's not very scary.
Well, that's not very nice to say. I think that you look like a naked rat, but I don't voice that out. You just hear in your head.
She kind of looks looks around. She's like, kind of says, "You make a very fair argument, whoever you are."
I am Gabagool.
Gabagool.
Glabagool. Jesus.
Glabagool.
Glabagool. Yes.
Well, my apologies, good sir. Are you friend, foe?
I am friend to anyone who's a friend to Glabagool. Although sometimes those other creatures aren't very friendly. It is nice to see that there are friends down here.
Is Glabagool the one getting poked?
Yeah. Jimjar, for the most part, he sort of stopped, but now as nothing's happening, Jimjar isn't hearing anything. He's just very curiously, once again, doink, doink. And it always bounces back with like a jello-y kind of consistency. You see the ripples fade through Glabagool's mass.
I apologize for my friend. Jimjar. Stop it.
Whoa!
She kind of smacks his hand.
That's you? Jimjar has his own conversation, sort of, with himself, it seems like. Well, I didn't know you were smart.
Is Jimjar poking him with a stick?
No, he did it with his finger each time.
And just kind of smack just smack his hand down to his side.
I know, he told me. So what do we do with this Glabagool?
It's not this Glabagool. He is Glabagool. It's a name, not a thing.
Whatever you say, Toots.
Um, I guess Nathara will ask Glabagul if he's very familiar with this cavernous area and explain the situation that we're kind of stuck here.
Ah, I have wandered a little bit throughout this area, but, yeah, I mostly know the area. I know that there's some desirables in some parts of it, but if we're trapped here, that's really the only entrance I've ever known of so far.
Besides the walls.
For some, I myself like to occasionally slip between some creases, but you all being solid folks might not have the same opportunity.
Mm.
I also, in the reflection of your torchlight too, though, you do notice that there is like the silhouette of a darkened humanoid inside Glabagul. And upon closer look, you can see with the torchlight that it is a half-digested drow inside of this sort of Glabagul form, along with a mace and a few not silver pieces, the EP. I forget what those are called.
I can't remember what they're called either.
Yeah, same.
It's some form of currency.
Environmental protection. All right. EP. Epa! Epa! All right.
I'm just gonna nonchalantly say, so I assume you don't like drow very much. I don't look like directly at Glaba, or at least the remains inside of Globagul, but I kind of just like, I noticed.
Yeah. Well, he did attack me. All I did was just hold on to him when his arm was swinging at me, and then slowly pulled him in, and then slowly began to digest him as he screamed out and last bubbles came out. But other than that, I'm harmless.
And I see you have some coins in there. Are you going to digest those as well? Like, I don't think they'd be very healthy.
Yeah, no, they do not get processed. They merely get excreted at the end of the process.
Ah. Oh, god damn it. There's a ladybug. You little
Magic ladybug. D&D ladybug.
Oh, it fell.
Oh. It's a ladybug that's a fan of Dungeons and Dragons. I mean,
It keeps popping up.
it does.
At least it's not in the lamp this time.
You guys continue on then?
I guess I'll ask him really quick about the path that we didn't take. If he's seen anything interesting over there. Or if he's even been over that way.
Ah, gotcha. Not to my knowledge. It's just a cavern, really, with another one of our good ooze friends who like to stay there.
Well, I'll take his word for it, and we can keep heading forward.
Alright. You guys continue to head forward, and you guys see a very similar opening. Once you guys get past this one, it's another room that looks exactly like this one, and again, sort of a ooze kind of creature pops out. we're just going to continue on the initiative order and have, well, actually, Eldeth is up next.
Mm.
And she is more of a pacifist, actually, I believe. Or, no. No, she's gonna try an attack. Operative word being try. Let's see. Yeah, she's gonna take out her short sword and do a double attack against it at the back wall there. Yep, that hits. And that definitely hits. Doing... Did I move it out here? Yeah, there it is. 7 and 3. 10 points of slashing damage. Piercing damage, sorry. To this ooze. And next up is Ront. He's going to do a very similar thing. Is going to come up, very similar thing as he did the last game. He's going to come up with his great axe and slash downward for, yeah, 21 to attack, 21 to hit, I mean, and that hits, dealing 10. What the heck? 13 slashing damage. And with Eldeth and Ront coming up and attacking this ooze monster, it gets just smashed into little droplet pieces. And you see very quickly as its solid form just disappears into the ground, like as if someone had taken the sort of magic that was holding up a liquid into place and just taken it out, and that liquid just dropped down to the ground. It now becomes a puddle on the floor, and the gray ooze is dead.
Did the gray ooze have anything inside of it?
Good question. It did not, though. So, no.
Was our oozy friend with us when this happened?
Your oozy friend was with you.
Uh-oh.
Why?
Did he care if that particular ooze got smooshed?
Smooshed? You can ask him.
I asked him. Was that a friend of yours?
No one that I really knew. Again, they could be nuisances, and they're not very bright at all. Certainly dull company. You guys seem all the better. As you guys continue on down the narrow passageway, you guys come to 4 passages on your right and 1 passage off to your left.
Since we skipped out on, I guess, looking at the other one, I think we should take the one to the left.
The one to the left?
Yeah.
Alright. Going up to the left, you come to a very rough-walled cave and constantly hear a splashing of running water. As you enter into this big cavern. You see that there's this big um, sort of well that goes down for who knows how deep, but water enters through cracks in the 10-foot high ceiling. Given the rate at which the water is flowing in, you can sort of see that these cracks were caused by the tremors that you guys experienced. And it's only a matter of time before the water levels get too high and flood the complex.
Is there anything else in the room, or just the well?
Just the well.
Just the well.
And as you're looking at it, it comes up to the bottom of your toes and starts to rise and continue.
Yeah, we need to go back. We need to go back. So I convey to the party that we need to maybe go back the way we came to the multiple paths and kind of speed up getting out of here.
Shall we do one person per each path? And then, we leave that globble fool here? Or what should we do?
I guess we could do one per path.
Okay.
Unless our Globble wishes to come with one of us.
I have never bothered to go down here. I've not been here before.
Would you like to join us, though?
Who do I join?
I do not know. I guess maybe he could go with Eldeth.
Okay. He joins in on Eldeth, and we're gonna have Eldeth, Jimjar, you, and Ront all make perception checks.
4.
Total?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, that was it. Yeah, everyone thinks that these look like perfectly fine tunnels. All right. Onward you march. And as you guys
the other option.
slowly creep forward, step by step, inch by inch, and I let him have it. As you guys slowly creep onward, all of a sudden the ground beneath each and every one of you at variable spots like this just drops beneath you. I want everyone to make dexterity saving throws.
$13.
That's good. Oh no, Jimjar.
Oh no!
And Eldeth.
Oh no!
So, Ront, now I want you to make a strength check. Ront at 20 with that orc strength. What the? As he pushes himself up out of this pit that he almost fell into. On the other side, he pops out. How about you? You're able to jump across just in time, and you're going to try and push yourself up.
14.
14. Very well done. You're able to push yourself up on the other side as well. As you hear Jimjar and Eldeth sort of simultaneously, "Ah! My leg!" And Eldeth goes, "Oh no! Help! Help!" as Jimjar falls, taking 4 points of damage, and Eldeth takes 5. Alright. Ront quickly runs around to help out Eldeth.
I guess I'm gonna try and help out Jimjar.
You run around and you see Jimjar there with his leg all twisted and injured and hurt. That really hurt.
How far down is he?
That's a good question. He is... That's interesting. About 10, 15 feet down.
I have...
Jump, but...
I mean, I have some rope.
Holy shit!
What?
Nothing. Oh my god, this was not a good idea. Holy shit, I just realized something. I didn't think that they had this. And then I realized, I'm like, is this what I think it is? Okay. I think there's something down here. Oh no, I'm scared, says Eldeth. I'll help you up, Eldeth. Just grab my hand. As all of a sudden, out of the wall, this huge, ghastly-looking, brownish creature, really dark black, which sort of just slightly shines out of the darkness itself. Just moves out and actually hits Eldeth. For 21 to hit, which hits for 5 bludgeoning damage. Oh boy. Let me just do this. There's a D8. Oh, come on. Alright. For 5 bludgeoning damage and 14 acid damage.
Oh no.
Eldeth screams out, "Ah!" in a terrible, pained voice as she begins to burn and slowly falls to the ground as you just see her body, as Ront just sees her body there sizzling away. Eldeth! He yells out, pained. Yeah, no, she's still good though, but she's unconscious. At this point, too, there's one behind Jimjar, and he realizes it, turns around, freaks out, and I want everyone to roll initiative. This one is Jimjar. 2.
Nathara's 8.
8. Ooh. 3 for Ront. New guy. Glabagool, 17. And now here comes the interesting bit. Um, well, that's pretty good, but oh my gosh. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna do this.
Oh no.
Yeah, it was not a great idea to go through all four corridors.
Well, I mean, you're the one who recommended it.
Hey, Jimjar did. You were starting to not trust Jimjar anyway. Yeah, no, this
Well,
is...
Nathara's got way too carefree a personality to not take that kind of suggestion.
Eldeth is unconscious, and the start of the initiative starts with this guy right here.
Oh no.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 feet that way. Next up. Or actually, it's 15 feet of crawling. Have this 30 feet, so he gets up just to the edge.
Mm.
Yeah. Next up is... Holy crap. Okay. Next up is, I believe this one. No, Glabagool. Glabagool. He being behind Eldeth. That was pretty lucky.
Mm.
Let's see. Yeah, that would be rather pointless. God damn. Okay. Glabagool. Oh shit. Yeah. He's gonna try to engulf the black pudding, which is large, so he can. But there's some problems with this. One, it does acid damage, acid damage, and these things are immune to acid damage. So let's see which one would best personify Glabagool. Do we have any just square? Actually, we do. Boom. Glabagool. Alright. He's gonna come up and try to, engulf. He jumps down, entering its space. They get a DC 12 dexterity saving throw, which is a nat 1, thank God. takes 10 acid damage and is engulfed. It cannot breathe. It is restrained. And I think that is possible with the pudding. Condition immunities. Yes, restrained is not on there. It can be restrained. So, Glabacool did it. He restrained this guy, but the acid damage is nil, which is a little bit of a problem. But that guy is held where he is. Next up is this guy, who's also going to move 30 feet to get out of his little area. Next up, that is this guy who's restrained. Take an action to make a DC 12 strength check. 12 exactly. Damn. So it was restrained for a short bit, but now it is out, but that is its action. It is going to use its movement to jump out and go right in front of Ront. Yeah, actually that was better. Why did I do that? Alright. Next up is Nathara.
I'm gonna try and... I don't know if I can reach Jimjar, but I'm gonna try and pull him out.
I'm gonna have Jimjar make an agility check with advantage. Acrobatics. To try and jump up. Let's see, because I try to make this easy, but he doesn't have any modifiers. There ain't nothing I can do. But that's just Jimjar trying to jump up. So, like, you use your bonus action to try and reach down and get Jimjar. He... Come on.
Should I roll? What should I roll?
Yeah, let's do something, because I can't even find Jimjar's thing. Yeah, we'll say, actually with the height, in fact, too, you'd know, it'd probably be best to toss down, like, a bit of rope or something.
Yeah, so I'll toss down some of my rope.
Okay. You toss down your rope, because Jimjar can't do anything, because it's not his turn. You toss down your rope for your bonus action. What would you like to do for your action?
I guess try keep the rope extending, because I've got like 100 feet of rope. I'm gonna just kind of walk backwards, slacking some of the rope off so it doesn't pull up from his hole, but try and move back maybe about 10 feet.
All right. Actually, 5, 10. There we go. Okay. And is that it? That's your movement?
Yep.
No bardic spells or anything?
I honestly don't have anything that would be good.
Okay. That was you. Next up is Ront. Seeing this, pretty PO'd. Ront's gonna jump down with his great axe in the air, swing it down. Oh, shoot. Yep, that definitely hits. As he's in the air and swinging down, he I'm just trying to double check something. Yep. Okay. He slashes down for a d12 plus 3. Where'd that d12 go? Come on, this is the time where you need to roll high. 9, not bad. So he deals 12 damage, but here's the interesting thing. Oh shit. Oh my god. He slashes down at this gelatinous cube as it slices right down the middle of this black kind of thing, and both halves form up into their own creature now.
Oh no.
And there are now 2 black little things there, now half the size of what they once were. Oh god. Alright. That's it for Ront. Now it's Jimjar. Jimjar's gonna make a strength check. Run up. 5. I mean, yeah, he with advantage.
Can I assist by pulling on the rope?
6. I'd say it's still enough to just climb up a rope. That's easy enough, but he's in range for that thing.
Would it help though if I was pulling the rope as I knew he was climbing? Because I could feel his tiny body pulling on the rope a little bit.
Yeah, he had advantage. And he's out. I'm not exactly sure whether or not these things get... I mean, yeah, it's technically melee, but... We're gonna say no, because he's gonna save that reaction. Alright.
Okay.
So he does not attack at Jimjar. Jimjar used his movement, and... What does he want to do now? Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Jimjar does have his hand crossbow. Hold up, hold it. Maybe. Well, that's good. Okay. Jimjar has his hand crossbow with the poison. He's gonna try and shoot the one in the pit for a nat 20. Jimjar! Jimjar, you beautiful deep gnome. Oh my god. Holy crap. So not only does it crit, which isn't that much because it's just this plus 2. So 12 damage to that guy. But that thing falls just lump into the ground in that pit below you. It doesn't necessarily die, but it's as well. Let's just double check. Actually, let's see the drought poison thing again. No, in this case, since it was a nat 20, Yeah, it's poisoned.
Nice.
But in the future, I got to double check. Now, after Jimjar turned, it was that guy's turn, who was unconscious for an hour. Alright. Top of initiative. It is this guy, who's going to move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Oh
Right
no.
up to you, Mira. Or, sorry, right up to you, Nathara. I'm surprised I haven't been doing that more. It is going to, of course, make a wonderful attack against you. A 9 total. Does 9 hit?
9. I'm looking at my armor class. Or am I looking at my
Armor class, yeah.
armor class?
What's your
No,
armor
it
class?
doesn't. 13.
Nice. Yeah. That misses. So it comes up in this pudding kind of textury thing comes up and slashes outward and tries to get you, but just misses you. Very well done. Next up is this guy who's going to do something very similar. He cannot make it there, so he's going to go around this way toward Ront, who is pretty outnumbered at the moment. Glabagool was next. Glabagool is going to go up to this one. Try and restrain it, just like he did the other one. That thing makes a dex saving throw of 13. And it makes a 12. Let me just double check and make sure that's 13. Engulf 12. Nope. So it succeeds. And is pushed 5 feet forward up toward the edge of the cliff there. Okay, that was its action. Next up is... That's what it was. Labagool, then the other guy, A2. And next up is A4. So this one is going to go to that. This one is going to climb out. Or no, it did climb out, so... No, it didn't. Ront jumped down. That's right. Okay. So they're going to attack like that. Oh boy. And I still need to double check something. Okay. Come on. Oh my gosh. I can't find drought poison specs on D&D Beyond. It's being very difficult. Let's just look up drought. Because I know that the info for drow poison is under their monster info. Yeah, okay. DC 13 Constitution save will be poisoned for 1 hour. If they failed by more than 5, then they fall unconscious. Okay. Which is what happened there. But that's not always going to be the case. So, what was it that I was doing then? The attack for these guys, the black cubes, against a number of poor unfortunate souls. The first one. There you are. 11, 16 to hit. Yeah, that definitely hits. And then against Ront. Oh, nat 20. Oh, shit. Alright. So against Ront. Holy crap, Ront is dead.
No.
He's gotta be. It's 4d8 doubled. So let's just see. So the first bit of damage, 1d6 plus 3. The die is doubled. That's 13 damage that Ront takes, which brings him to 0. He's unconscious. And Ront had a total, I believe... Oh boy. Ront had a total of 15 hit points. If these 8 die for acid damage are more than 15, $16. There goes Ront. Oh my god. You guys don't see it, but this thing lurches outward and envelops Ront as it just begins to acid burn through him. Ah! Ront screams out as he slowly gets dissolved away into absolutely nothing.
No.
Here goes Ront. Now the other one. For a d6 plus 3, that is 5 points of damage. Plus... This must... 22 acid, but let me see something here. Damn, that's unfortunate. Alright, 27 points of damage removed. So he has... that much left. Alright. Ront is dead. It is the end of that creature's turn. Nathara, you are up. You heard out a terrible, terrible cry from the one that you've known as Ront, who was very stubborn, very annoying, but certainly growing on you, and then nothing.
Is Jimjar out of the hole?
Jimjar is out of the hole.
Okay. I turn around to go see what it is, and I guess I see the monster that was behind me.
Yeah.
And I'm going to... use my dagger, and I'm going to swipe across it.
Okay.
Or try to pierce it, I guess.
Yeah.
Alright. And it's been a while since I've actually used a weapon. I fought with a weapon. With my attack bonus, where do I add that? Once if I hit.
In D&D Beyond, it does it naturally, so I'm not quite sure.
Mm. I got a nat 20.
Nat 20. Thank
Yeah.
Christ. Go ahead and wear the die for it.
The die for it, for the dagger, it's to decide damage. It's 1d4 plus 2 piercing damage, and then it's an attack bonus of plus 4.
The attack bonus is so 24 total to hit. So go ahead and roll a d4.
I got a 2 plus 2 is 4 piercing damage.
Since it's a critical, 2 doubled is 4 plus 2 is 6.
Okay.
So that is, as you slash up into this form, it doesn't really appear to do much. It retracts just a little bit from your dagger as you slash through it, but it's holding up pretty well.
Dang it.
Next up is Jimjar. Jimjar. Jimjar's gonna shoot at this guy with his bow. Actually, Jimjar's gonna try and make a leap across this gap.
Mm-hmm.
Agility check, come on. 18, nice. And now Jimjar's gonna shoot at that monster with his bow. 15, that definitely hits. So, with the drow poison, let's just double check. DC 13 Constitution save. 10. He does not make that. Oh shit. I just realized something. Okay. What kind of damage is your dagger?
Piercing.
Good. Good. Never mind then. So, Constitution is +3? What the fuck? Yeah, he succeeds. So, Jimjar only gets the damage of it, which is very unfortunate. Um, 4 damage against that same one. Jimjar yells out, "It's doomed! We're doomed! Come back this way! Don't keep on doing that, Nathara! Don't try and fight it! Just run!" And that's it. Next up, top of the initiative, is A1. Steak sauce.
What?
Yeah. Sorry, it's the thing that I name these things.
Oh my gosh.
See, this is the first one to start off, and this is really a defining moment right here. Does he hit you? Since Jimjar made the leap, I feel like this guy's gonna try and go for Jimjar.
Just ignore me.
Yeah. 9, that actually might not hit. Oh no, it does. 9 points of damage plus... So, Jimjar is so close to death.
Oh.
Jimjar is so close to death. Okay. As it slashes at him, this next one is going to come up as well to the rest of these ones for 30 feet jump on down. This, I think, will be interesting. Glabagool, although he doesn't move until after that happens. Glabagool is going to encompass Eldeth. Like, surround her.
Mm-hmm.
And then move 5, 10, 15, 20. Oh, wait, no, it did take some to jump out. 5, 10, 15. No, that'd be like 30 feet. How much space of movement does he have? Is it an action to do that? It might be. Yeah, that's an action. Oh, his speed is only 15 feet. Jesus, so yeah, he climbs up and just gets out there. Oh shit, how much is their speed? Shit. Okay. So I apologize about that. Some of that should not have been what it is. So yeah, to make things fair, we'll say that he got to there and that they're a bit further behind because they were not supposed to be moving that fast, is all I'm gonna say. Okay. Climbing and running speed is 20 feet for them. Jesus. Next up are those two guys who are going to climb up out, and they get about there. And then next up is you. You saw the Glabagool heading for the passage that you guys checked out earlier that didn't really seem to do much. And as you didn't really notice, but you're starting to quite fairly notice now, there's a lot of water just rushing in. It's already practically filled up the things that the black puddings were hiding in.
Uh-oh.
And it is starting to rise rather quickly. And you see Glabagool running for it. And Glabagool, you just hear over your head, come this way, I have an idea. As he's running, and you see like the little shape of Eldeth inside of him.
I'll run after him.
Right. 5, 10, 15, 20. 25, 30 is your running speed.
Yep.
Oh, wait, hold up. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Would you like to move any further?
No,
Dash?
I think we should all stick close.
Okay.
To make sure we all get out. That are left of us.
Jimjar's gonna do the same. 5, 10, 15. He's gonna move about there.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, what is he gonna do? Does he? What? Okay, let's see the strength check. All right. All I needed was better than 10. Yeah. Jimjar. Having noticed quite a bit the constant and continual rumblings that are still happening, Jimjar, after running into this tunnel as well, he takes out his sword and as a rock slide just forms right where you guys went in, sealing most of this cavern off. There are still a few cracks and spots that it is possible for these guys to see through, where rocks do tumble down.
Mm.
He did not get as good as he could have. Alright, that is it for Jimjar's turn. Next up is that guy who's unconscious. Next up is A1 steak sauce. Alright. It's gonna go 5, 10, 15. And his sword starts to seep through a hole in there and tries to move through. Alright. Next up is the cube. Cube is gonna go 5, 10, 15 dash 5, 10, 15. And he goes, oh, now the water's gonna fill up only faster. I wonder though if maybe, just maybe, try aiming for where the water's coming in. And that's it for his turn. Next up is this guy. He's also going to move 5, 10, 15, 20, dash 5, 10, 15, 20. Right there. Yep, these two guys here. Also going to try and seek through. And now it is to you, Nathara.
I'm gonna run forward.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30. And the water is rising so much faster now. It is up to your waist.
I don't know if I can do this or not, but
Try.
Nathara's going to reach into her boot.
Okay.
And she's going to wake up someone who's been asleep this whole time.
All right. Yeah. Do me a favor, roll a Constitution saving throw for the little guy.
Yep. Okay. He doesn't have any saving throw modifiers, so would I just use...
Just the straight up roll then.
Straight up roll? 11.
Okay. For this few seconds, he was quickly startled by the sudden water rising and slowly woke up on his own, started to climb upward, and is by your shoulder now.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell Camden to see if he can swim down below and see he can swim up to 30 feet.
Okay.
So see if he can find the source of where the water's coming in.
Oh, you see the source of the water. Again, it's flowing in from like cracks in the ceiling very, very quickly and more so that these cracks, again, when you guys first checked out this area, these cracks were formed when the first initial rock slide happened. The structure holding some water in a lake or something must have just crashed through.
So I'll have, instead of swimming, I'll have him fly up and see if he can slip through one of the bigger cracks.
Okay. Yeah, for Camden, go ahead and roll a dexterity check. Just straight up roll again.
10.
Okay, yeah. He disappears into the water, goes up the stream, and is gone.
Okay, good.
Next up. Okay. Actually, let's try that again. 10 you said? Dexterity?
Yes. Well, he's got. Is it like a saving throw, or is it just dexterity in
It's a
general?
check. As he
Okay.
tries, the stream it's rushing down water
Yeah.
so fast, like a spout, and it's just too difficult for him to swim up that stream fast enough, and it pushes him down into the lake as he tries to pop up and fly back toward you. Very, very wary, very I don't want to say broken because he's not actually injured, but very broken in
Mm-hmm.
spirit.
He's got a +4 dexterity. Would it make any difference?
It would not.
No. Okay.
All right. Next up then is Jimjar, and Jimjar is going to. Yeah. Jimjar's gonna come up here. He's treading water at the moment. He's gonna take out his hand crossbow and shoot it at like the side of where the water is flowing in from. 15. Holy crap. Okay. He shoots it. And all of a sudden this hole becomes quite a bit larger. In fact, if you were betting, you would say that you would be able to fit in to this hole if you were to try to squeeze through it. And you being the only human, everyone else being a deep gnome or whatever. I mean, sideways, some of them might be a bit more difficult. But the water continues to rise. You guys are now a good 3 feet off the ground, treading water, and the blob Globagool is just floating sort of on top of the water as it continues to rise, even holding on to Eldeth. Next up, they're gonna try to get out here. And let's see their dexterity check. Yep. He gets through. Next guy is Globagool, but after that, he gets through. And Globagool is gonna go sort of toward the center of that. Yeah, it doesn't really have any acid attacks or anything like that. Or, I mean, just base acid attacks. Yeah, he does. Reach 5 feet. He's close enough to the ceiling. He's gonna try and attack that. Ooh. Nope. Okay. Next up are these guys. Let's see if 1. Yep. 2. Nope. Actually, that one's already on the other side. So you make it through. You're stuck inside. And you actually got a little bit further because of that. And now it is you and Jimjar again.
There's not really much I can do. Let me see. I'm gonna use the cantrip Vicious Mockery.
Okay.
And with that,
On this guy?
it's got a 60-foot range. I don't know if it does it
How many people
specify.
does it affect?
Let me see. It's a string of insults laced with subtle enchantments. At a creature, you can. It's singular, so I guess one.
Yeah,
So yeah,
one
whichever
creature.
one's closest.
Okay. And how are you gonna mock them?
I'm not quite sure. Because it doesn't have to understand me for it to take effect, so.
You're not wrong.
Um. Hmm. I don't really know how to insult a blobby creature like that.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know if anything will really offend it.
When in doubt, go with the yo mama joke.
Eh.
No. Then you bite your thumb at it.
Mm. Ow. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
And then
Next
with
up
that,
is Jimjar, getting quite a bit higher. And these guys, for these guys, it's getting quite a bit more difficult to swim. The water being, first off, with them having to go against the water pressure that's very strong now, pushing out. In fact, this guy probably won't be able to make it in anymore because the water is just getting more and more pressurized. But these guys, they're also floating up to the top, like Glabagool. And they're trying to move, whereas Glabagool floated along the top and then was in the spot where the hole is. They're trying to move, being pushed against the top by the water and their buoyancy, and trying to still move forward even though there's that resistance. So it's getting quite difficult for them to move right now. Jimjar again is going to shoot at the hole even more, making it larger. He hits it this time as it dink, more water continues to flow through, and now there is a sizable gap in the ceiling, and in those moments the last bit of air sort of disappears from this little cavern, and you guys slowly make your way. These guys try and move, but you guys are able to make your way through that hole. You holding very close to Camden. You guys make your way through the hole one by one, and surface in sort of this underground river. Slowly swimming swimming your way to shore, resting for only a moment, and then continuing the run to get away from these evil sons of bitches. And you guys escape.
yay!
Holy crap. So yeah, most of that was by the book. Not even kidding. But some of it. I mean, what? I'm cutting this part out though. Alright. slowly, immediately once you get to the shore too, Labagul spits out Eldeth, and he needs help reviving her. Do you help him?
Let me see if I can do anything. I guess I'll use the spell Cure Wounds.
Good.
Let me find the specifics on it.
You heal her up to at least 1 hit point, and she...
Yeah. After you touch regains a number of hit points equal to 1d8 plus your spell casting ability modifier. So I guess
4 plus what's your spell casting ability modifier? 3?
Well, let me see. I'm gonna sound like an idiot. Where do I find my modifier?
Again, I know on D&D Beyond where you find it, but I'm not quite sure if it's just in your notes. Is it just on your notes?
Well, I've got my spell save DC, and then I've got my spell attack modifier.
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's it.
My attack modifier for that?
Yeah.
+6.
+6. Well done. Alright. So it is 10 points back to Eldeth. 10 hit points as she slowly comes to. That was like a nightmare. All I remember is being terrified by that thing, and so quickly Ront came to my rescue. Thank you so much, Ront. I'd be dead if... Where'd Ront go? Guys?
Nathara looks equally as confused, because in all of the craziness, she didn't really notice. He was gone.
Me and Nathara heard him scream, and, well, I mean, maybe he made it and is just on the other side of the rocks. It looked like all the weird black things were coming after us, but maybe he just went the other way. Hopefully. Oh. Okay. Do we know where we're going next? I'm a bit lost after all that. If we are where I think we are, we might have taken a day off the journey. But I don't know. This might lead to part of the Darklake, which might be one way to go, but I'd rather stay on land, and we can go into like we should look for more tunnels. That's what we should do. We should look for more tunnels. And we shouldn't divert anymore. No more diverting. We only lose people. As he says this too, Jimjar is very out of breath, very cut up, and just, it looks like he's still singeing from acid, and his face is scarred up. I vote we get out of here, and then we rest, and then we go on our way. Yeah, we can do that. But before we go anywhere, I swear, if you know a thing about that, you stupid Glabba idiot, I'm gonna kill you. I swear that. I'd bet my life on it. I will kill you. I honestly had no idea that thing was over there. I must be honest, I did know what was beyond those pillars, but I've never actually, well, been heavy enough to apparently activate the pressure plates that, or the heavy enough to break through that brick that collapsed to reveal those things. I've never seen them before. You best be telling the truth. As he's already walking off in the distance with his head shrugged down and his just dire commitment to not looking back. He's walking ahead of you guys with his cloak put up over his head. We're gonna say throughout the course of the next while, you do find time to rest. In fact, do us a favor, go and make a Constitution or Wisdom saving throw.
Nat 20.
Nat 20. Pleasant dreams for you. Super pleasant, super nice, super good dreams. One of them, you use your bardic inspiration and everybody loves you. They just, yeah, as you unknowingly are set up in a dream, it's familiar faces and those less familiar. The people in your life who you've known and loved, and also the new people who you found in these tunnels, and the party that you're currently traveling with, and some faces that you might never have seen before. Many of them just fighting over your love and affection, or groveling at your feet just for a smile toward their way. It's a pleasant dream for you. It's very, very nice. And you, once again, wake up very well rested, and it sort of helps the events of yesterday pass, but not as much as you would have hoped. The next day you scavenge again. You get a good another number of rations. Lava Ghoul doesn't really need to eat as much as well. Go ahead and make another Wisdom saving throw for me.
Another nat 20.
Another nat 20. In this dream, you're back home with all your loved ones. The home that you call home most, not necessarily the place that you originally grew up, but doing what it is that you love in the town that you most identified with. And making money, a good bit of money, with crowds standing all around you as you entertain and perform for them. In awe and amazement, they sit and watch. They send their little children up with gold pieces of coins to place in your little hat, which is overflowing. And you and Camden are the talk of the town. Alright. You continue on a good bit more. You're traveling through the winding turnings of the tunnels. And it's been a while since, it's been like at least a half a day now since the ground beneath your feet was as squishy, and it's become more solid as though you guys have made your way a good bit away from that river, a good bit away from where it led, and there are voices ahead of you. There's a very deep, very gravelly voice in particular that stands out as you start to hear it a bit more. And that's why I said that I'd never go back to that place again, but that was way before I knew that anything like this was ever going to happen. Would you like to investigate further?
Sure.
Do me a favor, go and make a perception check.
Two.
You
Yeah.
see what appears to be sort of a dwarf darken at the back of this sort of accompaniment of what appear to be varying soldiers. He's the one who's talking, and he looks frightening. You've never seen this guy before.
I tell the party what I see, and I ask if one of them wants to take a look for themselves and see if they can get a better view.
Okay.
Since I can't really see well in the caverns.
That's true. Jimjar can certainly take a look. He goes up, he's gonna try and perceive what it is that it might be. Yeah, it looks not great. It looks like a battalion of some sort. Lots of people, and that dwarf there looks pretty ready for a fight. Also, a lot of them look like they're covered in, like, blood. Yeah.
I ask if the dwarf that's a part of our party would like to see if she recognizes any of them.
I can certainly take a look. I don't recognize that one in the back, and I can't really see any of the others. I've never seen him before.
Are there any other paths that we can take, or is it pretty much?
She does tell you, he does appear to be a dark dwarf, or a dragar. Jimjar thinks, no, this is about our way. We can try and stealth it.
I mean, I can stealth.
I can certainly stealth. What about the Glabafool? Let's see, Jimjar stealth. Very nice. Glabagool. Ha! 3. Alright. Eldeth. 6. Boy, not looking good. And what's yours?
Stealth plus my modifier. It's 14.
Alright. You and Jimjar sort of lead. You guys prepare Eldeth and Glabagul to be able to make their way across this. You remind them very quickly in a very sudden reintegration training course that can only span about 30 seconds on how to make their way across without being noticed by anyone behind a party such as this. You show them. Jimjar headed across first. Very stealthy, very quiet. In fact, you makes you want to double check your coin purse, make sure that everything's there. Then you head up behind, on the heels, slowly arching around the side of your foot to your toes. You're walking, as silent as could be. Then Glabagul comes up, sort of making his gelatinous noises. It's not too bad. Nobody notices. Then Eldeth comes up. Ding, 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 ding. Sort of a loud patter, as she was not built to be stealthy. It is until this point, though, that Glabagul they're about halfway through, and Glabagul overhears a thought of one of theirs, as all you guys see is Glabagul just slowly turns a bit and stops dead in his tracks. Eldeth Feldrun, not really seeing this, trips forward, trying to stop suddenly, but ends up falling into Glabagul and gets sucked up into this cello as his loud gets echoed throughout the cavern, as all of them turn around, and very suddenly, and in their torchlight's glow, you see the Dragur, who was following behind them, talking a good bit of their ear off, and you see a number of familiar faces. And all of a sudden, one familiar face, Sareth Kazaret, comes up and goes, "And where the hell have you lot been?" And that's where we're going to go ahead and end it.
The end.
The end. Certainly interesting. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this. Please stay tuned for the live episodes that will be coming every Monday night, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Central Standard Time on Twitch at www.twitch.tv/TheMajesticGamin, Gamin, no G, as well as here on YouTube, which is, well, this channel, or if you haven't found this channel somehow and you're not watching this video on my channel, I don't really know how that happened. Someone copied and pasted it, which I hope means that it became super popular and people just put it out for the views, which is totally possible. I encourage that, actually. Then you can find The Majestic's channel just by searching The Majestic and all one word, and it will be the very first channel to pop up. But thank you so much for watching, and we hope to see you again soon.
Bye.
Say goodbye, Rebecca. Bye.
Bye.